The average person will change careers 5 or more times in their professional life. Think about that, if it's true, if it's not. The average person, they say, will change careers 5 or more times, I've heard 5 to 7, in their professional life. Now, reasons why that's problematic. Who is this average person? What poll did they use? Is this US? Is this global? Is this dependent on age? Is this dependent on stage of career? Is this dependent on, is this really true and modern up to date for the 2024 job market? I think we can all probably name people who fit this mold who are in that category, but I'd say more often than not, that seems astounding, at least to me. So on one hand, while hearing this does give us as professionals the liberty and the freedom to think, hey, listen, I don't have to be in one bubble now from the time of graduation, or if you even went to college, until my retirement. So hearing that astounding fact might give you that freedom to think that, right? On the other hand, that's quite a lot of changes, and I would struggle to find someone who, depending on how you define a career change, has honestly done that and has done that successfully. That would be very astounding to me. Now, let's go ahead and define a career change. As we call it, a career change is either a pivot from one industry to another, or one job type to another, or both. And oftentimes it is. When you think of a big sweeping career change, it probably is both. Hey, I got to get out of Dodge. I'm doing this currently, and I wanted to find my new career person, my new path, my new brand, my new persona. What does that look like, right? That's usually what people think of when they hear a career pivot. When I speak to my many hundreds of clients each month, I see a little bit of both, and it's honestly not overwhelmingly one or the other. It can be as small as, hey, I'm within manufacturing and I am an operations lead, and I want to stay within manufacturing, but I want to go over to be a production supervisor. I'm doing something functionally pretty different. Maybe I'm still within my company, or at least the mission of what I'm doing and what we're providing, the product itself, the product line is the same, but I'm doing something different, right? Many people would consider that not a giant pivot or career change, but perhaps that's where this fact of the newsletter is coming from. Just how you define it, defining it loosely. Another type of pivot, going back to the analogy or to the definition being job type or job function. Hey, perhaps I'm in marketing, I'm a product manager, and I'm working for a paper company, right? But now I'm going to switch over from this physical product, this paper, and I'm going to switch over to a health tech startup here in Austin, Texas, right? I'm still doing the same thing. I'm still within marketing and I'm still a product manager. However, the thing that I'm selling, the product that I am describing and the product that I am managing has become completely different. That is a career change in and of itself as well. Both are possible, both are feasible, even doing both at the same time. And again, like I said, oftentimes I'm hearing it's a mixture across both. And I tell them, hey, listen, you're in good company. I mentioned earlier about a little over a third, actually. Depending on the given month, we've seen over time it's been a little over a third, but it can be from 30 to 45% of all of our clients are intending to make a career shift, a change, a pivot, a transition, whatever you want to call it. That's quite a lot. This may not be representative of the environment, the US, or even the global environment. In fact, it probably isn't. If you are making this career change, you are doing so, and you might need to leverage that extra help on your resume. You need to get past the ATS systems. You need to have the right relevant keywords for the industry that you want to be in without having had that on your resume. That's difficult. And if you want to learn more about that, I'm sure you can scroll back a dozen or more episodes, and we're constantly helping you all to refine your approach when it comes to keywords and to ATS systems. The other reason you probably want to contract a resume service, and probably why we have a larger volume of career transitioners than maybe is representative of the population, is because you need to convince the person who reads your resume to give you a chance.
There are 30 possible resume mistakes stopping you from landing interviews. And please, whatever you do, don't submit your resume to another bot who won't listen. As a top resume service, we've helped thousands of job seekers. And with our expert eye, Let's Eat Grandma will transform your resume into a job-winning masterpiece. Don't wait. Submit your resume to Let's Eat Grandma now for a free critique.
Hey, listen, maybe you didn't go through a applicant tracking system. Maybe they're just hand selecting the 10 or dozen or 2 dozen different candidates, from their recruiting system, and they're going to hand read all of them. But when they get to your resume, you appear at first glance to have no relevancy to the person they're looking for. That is bad. That is a very salient reason that, again, using a resume service, working on your resume, using the principles that you can learn in this podcast for free, the blog that we have for free, talking to someone who's in the industry, finding a mentor, finding a recruiter that you know and asking them what they would do. All of these are really, really good reasons why your resume should be beefed up to make the right pitch for where you want to go. We always talk about in the Career Warrior podcast that we want to be future facing. We don't want to be looking backwards. What does that mean in context of your resume especially? Don't just blab on and on about everything you've done for industry X or job type X. We need to be talking about why what you've done in industry or job type X is relevant and is beneficial and assists the company goals and mission of company Y, industry Y, job type Y, right? You need to bridge that gap. Once again, just a little bit of a tangent here, but that's the idea behind probably why we have more career transitioners than are prevalent in the market. Quick caveat as well, though many of us listening to this probably find ourselves saying, hey, listen, I have skills that can aid myself in company Y or industry Y or job function Y. And oftentimes, many of the people I'm calling, 10 to 30 years of experience in any one field, feel that they can do that anywhere else they go. And I mean anywhere. I hear the word anywhere so often. That's a very confident position. Saying anywhere is like, it's a very strong position to have. Doesn't mean that the other individuals on the other side of the coin, our counterparts, we might call them the career specialists, are bad or abnormal or weird or don't have useful and applicable skills that are ubiquitous wherever they go. They probably do, but they have their thing, and perhaps it's just ordained by the powers that be and their brain chemistry and where they fit in society, that is a really, really good thing for them. Even within management and even as an individual contributor, regardless, they're sticking with the same thing that they're doing. I will say this, for the majority rest of us, you can rest easy that no one person, one recruiter, one hiring manager, one family member can tell you that you are archetype you as only being good at one industry or one job type. So, think of yourself in terms of how you can aid or provide value to where you want to go. Again, not where you're coming from. On the other hand, you might consider yourself a generalist. Another term I've heard people refer to themselves as a jack of all trades, but a master of none.